In this video, I'm going over all of Ash's Pokemon and ranking them from 1 through 10. Ash Ketchum is a man who owns many Pokemon. Well, it gets smaller each series due to inflation. I'm gonna go from generation to generation and give a little explanation, finish off with a classification, and move on to the next rotation. To start us off, we have good old Pikachu. He's the mascot, Ash's best Pokemon, and loves ketchup. What can you not like? I mean, other than that Snivy battle. Pikachu is a strong, lovable Pokemon that acts like another companion for Ash, so it would be a dishonor if I ranked him lower than a 10 out of 10. So Pikachu's final ranking is a 10 out of 10. We gotta go fast because we still have 53 more to go. Butterfree, RIP my friend. This was Ash's first official catch and first third stage Pokemon. However, it wasn't that great. Butterfree's final ranking is 7 out of 10. Pidgeot, RIP another bird. It was great. Actually, no it wasn't. Pidgeot was kind of bland with zero personality and did alright in battle, which is why his final ranking is a 5 out of 10. Bulbasaur, we love Bulbasaur, especially since he won a majority of his battles and he sticks up to his friends. Bulbasaur's final ranking is an 8 out of 10. Charizard, the big bad beast, a Pokemon who had trouble in the beginning and became one of Ash's strongest Pokemon. The only reason Charizard isn't a 10 out of 10 is that he was a brat as a Charmander and a Charmeleon. Charizard's final ranking is a 9 out of 10. Squirtle the turtle, dudes is awesome and I love the whole Squirtle squad, but he could have performed a tad bit better in battle. Also would have been cool if he'd evolved. Squirtle's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Kingler, this guy dominated in his first ever battles and honestly is a pretty good battler. He's also kinda goofy, just wish we saw him more. Kingler's final rating is a 7 out of 10. Primeape, man, if Ash hadn't given this Pokemon away. But I loved Primeape. He's got that crackhead energy that makes this dude fun to watch. Sadly, he wasn't around for long. Primeape's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Muck. Now Muck's alright. I was never a huge fan, but he was fun to watch, especially the Bellsprout battle. Other than that, I just remember him from the lab. Muck's final rating is a 5 out of 10. Tauros. Tauros number 1, cool. Final rating, 6 out of 10. Tauros number 2, meh. Final rating, 2 out of 10. Tauros number 3, awesome. Final rating, 10 out of 10. Seriously though, Tauros was average, so Tauros's final ranking is 5 out of 10. Lapras. Lapras is great, especially with the help of the whole family. The problem was, well, not much happened. Lapras's final ranking is a 4 out of 10. Snorlax, the king. Some say he's too powerful to be one of Ash's members. I agree with him being too powerful. He's also great at eating. I don't know what I was supposed to do with that. Anyway, Snorlax's final ranking is an 8 out of 10. Moving on to Johto, the Pokemon we have is Heracross. I love Heracross. I think he's a bit underrated, but some of his battles were and others were great. Heracross's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Bayleaf. Although I think Bayleaf is as strong of a battler as Heracross, maybe even better, I didn't like that she had a thing with Ash that we were forced to watch. Bayleaf's final ranking is a 6 out of 10. Quavo, or more like Cyndaquil, was chill, and he never was a super standout Pokemon, but it was cute, so its final ranking is a 6 out of 10. Totodile. I might be in the minority when I say that I really like this little crocodile. In battle, it wasn't that great, yet I think its personality carries Totodile's final ranking to an 8 out of 10. Noctowl. Noctowl was special because it's Ash's only shiny Pokemon, and for me it was Ash's highlight of his Johtomons. Literally. Noctowl's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Donphan, I'd say is one of the most forgettable ones in the series, yet it did solid in battle, just wasn't a big fan of its personality. Donphan's final rating is a 4 out of 10. Now we have entered the Hoenn region. Yo! Swellow, the solid bird who was kinda bland, not gonna lie, yet it did have a move with Pikachu that broke all logic. Swellow's final ranking is a 5 out of 10. Sceptile, the ace of the Hoenn squad. I love Sceptile's smug personality. The only bad thing was it sucked earlier on in its career. Luckily, Ash brought it back against Darkrai. Sceptile's final ranking is an 8 out of 10. Corphish, not a whole lot of stuff I can say about this guy. He did okay in battle, so there's that, but he seemed like a knockoff Kingler. Corphish's final ranking is a 4 out of 10. Torkoal, if you know me, this is one of my least favorite Pokemon Ash owns because I hate his really annoying whiny personality. Also, it doesn't help that this Pokemon sucks in battle. Torkoal's final ranking is a 1 out of 10. Glalie is a solid Pokemon physically and literally. He won a good amount of battles and has a unique sort of vibe. Glalie final ranking is a 6 out of 10. We're coming up on the Sinnoh region. Here you'll find big mountains and Staraptor who can fly over those mountains. One of the best Ash birds for sure. I really like the Paul rivalry with Honchkrow. Staraptor's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Torterra. You know Tortuga had a lot of potential, however after evolving he lost his edge and never fully recovered. His personality was fine, so his final ranking is a 5 out of 10. Infernape may be a Charizard ripoff, but Paul made this Pokemon so much more purposeful, and that battle at the end of Sinnoh was one of Ash's best battles in Pokemon. Infernape's final ranking is a 9 out of 10. Weasel. I know this Pokemon gets a lot of love, but he's not that good in battle. I mean in Sinnoh, he's lost more than he won. Although I do like his fighting spirit, Weasel's final ranking is a 5 out of 10. High score, although not the best because he got bullied as a Gligar, still made a good impact on me from seeing him come back and helping out Ash in the league. His personality was also dope. Gliscor's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Gible. I love Gible. He's everything a Gible should be, and he's not too bad in battle either, even being used in a league. Only problem is he's not a Garchomp. Gible's final ranking is an 8 out of 10. Unova region, here we go with Unfezant. You know, not the best of Ash's birds, and since Ash barely used Unfezant thanks to him catching loads of Pokemon in Unova, made Unfezant's final ranking a 3 out of 10. Oshawott. Honestly, if Oshawott's cuteness and personality weren't a thing, he wouldn't be that great because he isn't the best battler. Oshawott's final ranking is a 6 out of 10. Pignite is one of the most underrated mons in Unova since he was a good battler, but the whole carbon copy fire type abandoned by trainer story puts this guy down for me. Pignite's final ranking is a 5 out of 10. Snivy, I love this guy. I know he's trying hard to be Sceptile, but what can I say? I have a bias for Snivy's. Snivy's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Scraggy is cool. I wasn't a huge fan of his personality, especially at the beginning when he was acting like a baby, yet his battles say otherwise. Scraggy's final ranking is a 6 out of 10. Leavanny is another underrated specimen. She fought well and she was fun to watch on screen. Leavanny's final ranking is a 6 out of 10. Palpitoad. I shouldn't even have to rank this guy. We already know his ranking. Palpitoad's final ranking is 999,999,999,999 out of 10. Boldore. Sometimes I forget Ash even owns a Boldore, and his personality is as bold as it gets. He did have a few good battles though. Boldore's final ranking is a 3 out of 10. Crocodile. King Crook, the ace of Unova with his amazing sunglasses and with amazing battles, for example, Iris's Dragonite. Again, he didn't use Crocodile a whole lot, and for that, Crocodile's final ranking is a 9 out of 10. Kalos has to be one of the worst regions, starting with Greninja. Ha ha ha. Funny joke, guys. I mean, who doesn't like Greninja? It's hard not to like him, even though he's just the most popular Pokemon in the world right now. With having an awesome story arc, mastering Ash Greninja, fighting many Mega Evolved Pokemon, and saving the world, Greninja's final ranking is a 10 out of 10. Talonflame is probably one of my favorite Ash birds for being really fun to watch in battle and evolving from a Moltres. Sad to see it had no personality like most of the other regional birds. Talonflame's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Hawlucha was a great Pokemon who was pretty funny to watch. He was hyped up to be great but average in battle, yet he was still enjoyable to watch. Hawlucha's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Goodra. I'm gonna try to be as fair as possible. He was a beast at the beginning of his career until the leagues, and we all know what happened there. Loved his personality, so Gudra's final ranking is 11 out of 10. Noivern was kind of annoying at first, but I liked how Hawlucha was its mentor until it evolved and was alright in battle. Noivern's final ranking is a 6 out of 10. Alola, baby, coming in with the Lord and Savior, God Rowlet. You all know what I'm about to say. God is God. Rowlet's final ranking is 10 out of 10. Lycanroc is the GOAT doggo and has an exclusive Dusk form and won Ash in the Alola League, so for that, Lycanroc's final ranking is a 9 out of 10. Incineroar, aka Torracat, was great in Alola and won most of his battles, only really losing to Kukui's Incineroar. Also, can't forget about its sad backstory. Incineroar's final ranking is an 8 out of 10. Naganadel is kind of all over the place. I love Poipol's personality, and the fact that it's an Ultra Beast makes this mon even cooler. Wasn't that good in battle though. Naganadel's final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Melmetal is the home of God Rowlet. That alone makes this dude great. And he's funny and fights well, and he's a legendary Pokemon. Melmetal's final ranking is an 8 out of 10. Last but not least is the Journeys team, starting with Mr. Mime? Huh? Well, he's one of Ash's Pokemon, so I'm counting it. In the only battle we see him in, he dominates, so he's already good at that. Plus, his weird personality is great too. We just don't see him much. Mr. Mime's final ranking is 5 out of 10. Dragonite. This guy would have been 10 out of 10 if it weren't for him losing every battle in the Masters 8. Still, he's funny and very powerful. Dragonite's final ranking is an 8 out of 10. Gengar definitely went up from the beginning and has awesome talent and can G-Max as well as being pretty entertaining. Gengar's final ranking is an 8 out of 10. Lucario, for a Pokemon, is very strong, but the problem is, did he actually deserve to be this strong, or was it because he's Lucario? You see, here's the thing. Before XYZ, Greninja was semi-popular, then after when he became Ash Greninja, all of a sudden he was one of the most popular Pokemon ever. Lucario was already popular, and I feel like because of that, Pokemon just made him really good and his progression in Journeys felt kinda strange. Like in the beginning he was terrible as Riolo, then he evolved and he was still pretty bad, then later in the series when he was able to Mega Evolve, he just became an unstoppable force. This is only my personal gripe against Lucario. I don't think he deserved to be as good as he is now, and his personality is mid. Lucario's final ranking is 7 out of 10. Sirfetch'd was a random catch, yet he's not that bad, and I love the fact that he acts like a real knight who goes down in honor. Sirfetch'd final ranking is a 7 out of 10. Dracovish, I'm probably gonna be the only one who kind of doesn't like Dracovish because I find him annoying sometimes, and the fact that he's not as good as the other Journeys mons makes it worse. He's got some fun moments though, so Dracovish's final ranking is a 5 out of 10. Judging by the percentage of the scores in each series, Alola was ranked the highest and Hoenn was ranked the lowest, all because Torkoal had to ruin it. Anyways, join my Discord. Bye.